Միության պատվիրակության մեծարգետիկի ղեկավար, հարգարժան դեսպաններ, հարգելի հյուրեր, ողջունելով այսօր հոկտեմբերի 29-ին թույլ տվեք վարչապետի աշխատակազմի քաղաքացիական ծառայության գրասենյակի անունից իմ շնորհակալությունները ուղղել ձեզ Հայաստանի Հանրապետություն քաղաքացիական ծառայության հետագա բարեփոխումների առաջընթացի ծրագրի ներկայացման այս միջոցառման ձեր մասնակցությունը բերելու համար ծրագիրը իրականացվել է եւ իրականացվում է համակարգող փոխվարչապետ պարոն Պապիկյանի գրասենյակի համակարգման ներքո Եվրոպական միության հետ գործընկերային հիմքով։ Արդ բացման խոսքով հանդես գա Հայաստանի Հանրապետության փոխվարչապետ պարոն Պապիկյան։ Խնդրեմ պարոն Պապիկյան։
Շնորհակալություն Եվրամիության պատվիրակության ղեկավար Տիկին Վիկտորին, հարգարժան դեսպաններ, հարգելի հյուրեր, ողջունում եմ ձեզ ներկա գտնվելու Հայաստանի Հանրապետության վարչապետի աշխատակազմի քաղաքացիական ծառայության գրասենյակի եւ Եվրամիության Twinning ծրագրի կողմից համատեղ իրականացվող Աջակցություն Հայաստանի Հանրապետության քաղաքացիական ծառայության բարեփոխումների հետագա իրականացմանը ծրագրի ընթացքի վերաբերյալ քննարկմանը։ Հայաստանի Հանրապետության կողմից մշտապես բարձր են գնահատվում նման համագործակցությունները։ Կարծում եմ, որ համագործակցող կողմերում կա բավականին մեծ ներուժ, որի օգտագործումը ոլորտի բարեփոխումների համար կարևոր հիմնաքար է, որը նպաստում է Հայաստան-Եվրամիություն շարունակական համագործակցությանը։ Ցանկանում եմ շնորհակալություն հայտնել մեր Եվրամիության գործընկերներին արդյունավետ աջակցության համար, ընդգծելով, որ քաղաքացիական ծառայության համակարգը Հայաստանի Հանրապետությունում գտնվում է բարեփոխումների ակտիվ փուլում։ Լիահույս եմ, որ այս քննարկման շրջանակներում բարձրացվող հարցերը իրենց ուրույն լուծումներով կնպաստեն ոլորտի արդիականացմանը, կմոտարկեն քաղաքացիական ծառայության համակարգը Եվրամիության ուղենիշներին։ Բոլորիս մաղթում եմ արդյունավետ քննարկում։ Շնորհակալ եմ։
Շնորհակալություն պարոն փոխվարչապետ, ընդգծել, որ քաղաքացիական ծառայության համակարգման շրջանակներում միշտ հոգատար վերաբերմունք է եղել եւ հետեւողականություն փոխվարչապետի գրասենյակի կողմից իբրև քաղաքականությունը համակարգող մարմին։ Այժմ ողջունի խոսքով հանդես գա Եվրոպական միության պատվիրակության ղեկավար դեսպան Տիկին Անդրեա Վիկտորին։ Խնդրեմ Տիկին Վիկտոր։
Deputy Prime Minister, esteemed colleagues and excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, I'm very happy to be with Deputy Prime Minister here. It is our first event in your new function, so I think I can still wish you a lot of success with the new challenges and underline the importance we attach to the cooperation. And then naturally I want to welcome my colleagues. Unfortunately, the colleague from Estonia is not yet here, but I want to say here you have women power. You don't only have important embassies of the European Union, but we stand also for a different kind of management and leadership, and I hope that we can also discuss this further. And Twinning is an excellent example of EU cooperation, EU well-being, and also to share the same values. I think we all know, and it was very difficult also for the Twinning projects, that the COVID-19 pandemic has really tested the capacities of public administration around the world. And we are nevertheless very much in favor of supporting a strong public administration, because this is the cornerstone of every country. It is not only responding to emergencies, but it helps really developing public policy, enhancing governmental values, and delivering services to the people. And I think this is our common utmost objective, to serve the well-being of the Armenian people. we have been supporting Armenia's efforts in the civil service reform and the public administration reform. We made the last disbursement of our budget support program for the public administration reform, and this is the final payment of a total of 12 million euros, and we are closely cooperating on this. And we are also cooperating to send experts via OECD Sigma who give technical assistance on the implementation of the public administration reform. We have been closely following and cooperating in the public reforms strategy, and our experts are ready to provide more support throughout its implementation. I know for you this is change management, and change management is always difficult. But I think together we can really make this happen, and therefore the twinning project is a really cornerstone of our cooperation, and we are very much looking forward to see the results next year. And I sincerely thank all stakeholders for their hard work, for their cooperation, and for setting an example together. I think this is very important. So I hope that the results of this project will lead to a more transparent, accountable, and efficient public administration for the benefit of all citizens of the Republic of Armenia, and I'm very happy to be here today. Thank you.
Շնորհակալություն Տիկին դեսպան, քաղաքացիական գրասենյակի անունից հատկապես ուզում եմ ընդգծել, որ Եվրոպական միության պատվիրակությունը օպերատիվ աջակցությամբ իր միշտ աջակցել է քաղաքացիական ծառայության ոլորտին եւ գրասենյակի խոսքով հանդես կա Հարավային Կովկասում Ֆինլանդիայի դեսպան Քիրստի Նարինեն։ Խնդրեմ Տիկին Նարինեն։
Mr. Minister, dear friends, I flew all the way from Helsinki to attend this event, so this is an important one. I'm a resident ambassador in Helsinki, but covering all the three South Caucasus countries, and this is my third visit to Armenia, so I've already felt like coming home. Twinning, not much to add to what Andrea said, but then I will instead tell a few stories. I was doing change management in Finland for the Ministry of Foreign Affairs about 10 years ago, when we started building a new personnel strategy, which was inclusive, which brought in or tried to add communication to the society, to the working communities, that which also was breaking the silos between the different departments of the ministry. And that was extremely difficult, because you tend to think for your own good, and you tend to forget the bigger picture. And I think what I presume is that this project is about building the bigger picture, thinking that why is the civil service there, what is the part of the civil, and what is the service. And breaking the silos and communicating horizontally is a vital element in this project. Twinning is a win-win activity also, because it brings also the EU partners and friends together. Finland and Estonia, I lived 9 years of my career in Estonia, so I feel I have a heartfelt feeling for that country. But we also have been developing our administrations together, and twinning is something that we can learn. And France, as being a partner, being a big country, and being a close friend of Armenia, is the most natural partner for this duo that we have on the Gulf of Finland. So this is not about us coming here to tell you how to do things, but to think together and to find the formula that serves you best and also serves us best together in gathering experiences. And of course, this is what EU does. This might not be visible. Building civil service organization, it doesn't make the headlines. But this is the fundamental building blocks of society, and this is why EU's support and EU's willingness to support together with the member states and together with our partners is so vital. People's trust in civil service is something that we were building in the Foreign Ministry, and this was the people's trust to the Human Resources Department and Administrative Department of the Ministry. And we all know that is sometimes that trust is not so strong for many reasons. But we were able to build it with communication, and we kind of learned that communication is the key thing. Finland has also another twinning project in Armenia on biodiversity, and in the region we have a few more, and all in all Finland has done 129 twinning projects, so we are pretty good at that, and we have also doing a lot of country branding with these projects, which is usually the things that you work in twinning are the fields where you are good at. House is a well-known developer in Finland. We also did that communication, we did project with House with the Foreign Ministry, so it is a very, very strong domestic actor, but they also have 40 implemented twinning projects, so you have great partners there. And also from our partner countries, I'm sure that you are also selling here and selling to each other only the best ones. Development is about change, like mentioned before. Change is always challenging because somehow you know the system you have, and if you want to change, it is changing to the unknown. But if you are committed to the big picture, and if you are committed to the well-being and efficiency and building good administration, which is reliable and cost-efficient, good management and leadership is actually the most cost-efficient element in any administration. I think that this professionalism and the increased knowledge is something that is going to bring us all far. So I encourage everybody to take full advantage of all this project elements, and I'm wishing it continuous good luck, and I know that the friendship between our countries will only increase in this, because this is the fundamental building blocks of society. Thank you very much.
Շնորհակալություն Տիկին դեսպան, այո, House, Ֆինլանդիայի House կառավարման ինստիտուտը ավելացված արժեք եւ մեծ ներդրում ունի այս ծրագրի իրացման մեջ, որի համար շնորհակալություն։ Այժմ ողջունի խոսքով հանդես կա Հայաստանի Հանրապետությունում Ֆրանսիայի դեսպան Ան Լույը։ Խնդրեմ Տիկին դեսպան։
Dear Mr. Deputy Prime Minister, dear colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, I'm very, very happy to be here today with my ladies colleagues. Yeah, this is very important. I think I think all member states and the delegation are represented by women. I think it's not just something unimportant. It's a true benefit, I think, for the project and for our relationship with Armenia. I'm very happy to be here because really we are, the three member states, together with the delegation, very eager to strengthen the partnership between Armenia and the EU, especially to support the reform that your government, Mr. Deputy Prime Minister, tries to to implement, especially in the field of administration and civil service, very important and very necessary reform for your population, but also for your international relationship and for the cooperation with the European Union. I believe really, as it was said by my colleagues, that twinnings are a crucial tool, very, very useful tool, very adapted, especially for this project in the field of administration. Beyond the efficiency of the twinning, the cooperation between our civil services help to promote mutual understanding, to promote trust, to promote friendship between our civil services, and this will help in the future to develop further and more ambitious, even more ambitious cooperations. Our friends from ENA, from the École nationale d'administration, National School of Administration, know that perfectly, as it's involved in different, very ambitious cooperation throughout the world. I would like, as it was mentioned as well by Andrea, to congratulate all the twinning partners for their efficiency and for having worked hard, and for, despite the very difficult situation of last year, really you have continued to work in these circumstances. I want to really warmly congratulate, and I'm looking forward to meeting you again next year in order to really congratulate once more for the very interesting results that we surely will register with this training program. Thank you very much.
Շնորհակալություն Պիկին դեսպան, Ֆրանսիայի ENA կառավարման դպրոցը լուրջ ներդրում ունի այս ծրագրի մեջ, հատկապես կատարողականի կառավարման նոր մոդելի մշակման բաղադրիչում։ Այժմ ողջունի խոսքով հանդես կա Վրաստանում եւ Հայաստանում Ֆինլանդիայի դեսպան Ռինա Կալուրդին, որը ցավոք սրտի այսօր ներկա չէ, բայց հանդես կա առցանց եղանակով։ Շնորհակալություն։
Deputy Minister, dear colleagues, Your Excellencies, dear experts, ladies and gentlemen, I'm very sorry for not being able to be with you here today due to our Defense Minister's visit to Tbilisi this week. But I'm happy to send you this video greeting, and I'm very sure that we'll meet soon in person, as this project is not over yet. Estonia is by far the smallest partner in this twinning project of support to further implementation of civil service reform in Armenia. But I think that in this case the size does not really matter. What matters is the relevance, experience and the will to help Armenia to reform its civil service. And Estonia surely does have enough of it all. We have relevance, we have experience, and we certainly do have the will. We have gone through the same reforms ourselves, and not so long ago, which makes our experience relevant and valuable. And we had the same starting point once, so we know how to get from A to B. We have mostly learned from our Scandinavian neighbors, ourselves, Finland, Sweden and Norway, but also from France. So I'm truly happy that under the roof of this EU twinning project, we can cooperate with two very experienced and solid partners, Finland and France. In this twinning, Estonia has mainly been responsible for human resources planning and recruitment and selection systems component. This is not an exaggeration if I say that human resources are the key of reforms and success in any organization and in any institution. You need right people, and you need the best people, and you surely do need a supportive and transparent legislation to keep these people and to keep them motivated. Recruitment and selection is not an easy task for anyone, especially in the background of the constant change of the needs of professional skills, technical innovation, and the needs of labor market. Perfect recruitment system almost seems like a moving target. What we all need today the most is flexibility and adaptability. I think at the end of the day, we can all learn from each other, and I very much hope that the project will end up with a study tour to Tallinn in May 2022. And let me once again thank our main project partners, the European Union, France and Finland, Your Excellencies, Andrea Urbari course, I would like to thank our Armenian beneficiaries who have trusted us in this very important task. So I wish you a very smooth presentation of this project today and very interesting discussions. Thank you.
Շնորհակալություն Տիկին Դեսպան։ Այժմ ողջունի խոսքով հանդես գա Ֆինլանդիայի պետական կառավարման ինստիտուտի ներկայացուցիչ ծրագրի ղեկավար Heidi Lainen. Խնդրեմ Տիկին Heidi.
Thank you, Mr. Kalashian. Mr. Deputy Prime Minister, Your Excellencies and dear colleagues, it's my great pleasure to attend this visibility event today, which we wanted to organize already in the spring 2020, a year and a half ago, when the project started. During the COVID-19, we have been able to continue with the project implementation online, but this kind of visibility event would not be the same if not being here in person. It is so nice to be here again in Yerevan to meet everyone in person and enjoy some very tasty and lovely Armenian food. As Member State project leader, I must say that we have done our best considering the challenging circumstances. I must thank everyone for your patience, commitment and forward-looking attitude. We are here now today to discuss the importance of further strengthening the civil service reform in Armenia and the role of the Civil Service Office in improving the civil service system. The project has a very important and timely topic to be addressed in Armenia, and I truly hope that today's discussions will pave the way and provide food for thought as regards improving accountability, transparency and efficiency of public administration in Armenia. At the same time, I'm very confident that our EU-funded project contributes positively to the development of professionalism and well-functioning civil service, in line with the best European standards and practices. These steps will help in leading Armenia to a better public governance. Finland is pleased to have been given the opportunity to share its experience on the development of public HR and civil service training through this twinning cooperation. Supporting capacity building of the Civil Service Office, as well as enhancing cooperation between the CSO and its client institutions, will expectedly influence the effectiveness of the institutions involved. I would like to make a few remarks on why we consider it important to have a strategic HR in the public administration. Continuous learning has become ever more important in the public sector. Skills and competencies need to be updated, and civil service training is at the core of developing the competencies. Digital learning has become part of the civil service training and provides with further possibilities to enhance learning. Coaching leadership is widely introduced and practiced in the public sector in Finland. Public leadership is enhanced by supporting the performance of civil servants by dialogue and by strengthening integral self-management. Building trust is a key factor in applying coaching leadership. Finland is also on its way to modernize the image of the state as an employer. The population is aging, and the attractiveness of state as an employer is important. It concerns not only the recruitment policy, but also the well-being at work, in order to keep the people already working for the government. Internal rotation and mobility within the public sector is also encouraged. As project leader of this project, I'm happy to say that we are working with some of these elements in this project as well. Dear Excellencies and colleagues, Finland's strong points, such as equality, democracy, rule of law, transparency, innovations, and education, have enabled Finland to successfully develop a well-functioning public administration, which is efficient and effective. And trust in civil servants is very high in population. And the aim of the reforms in Finland over the past years has been to improve public services and to ensure the more efficient use of the government resources. yet the need for constant reforms remains in both the central and local administration. But good governance has enabled Finland to develop itself from a remote, underdeveloped nation to a modern Nordic welfare state. Next, a few remarks on twinning. I believe myself that twinning is a highly efficient tool for supporting reform and modernization of public administration, as well as for sharing information, knowledge, and expertise. Peer-to-peer support has proven to be effective in forming a solid basis for cooperation and ensuring results orientation and trust. Furthermore, twinning offers a mutual learning experience which makes me confident that this project in question has benefited all the parties involved. My organization, House, has been actively involved in twinning since the beginning of the program 20 years ago. So far, we have implemented actually 41 twinning projects, the newest ones being implemented in Africa, in Zambia. I wish to emphasize that House is indeed delighted to cooperate with Armenia through twinning projects and is, in light of this current civil service project, looking forward to future cooperation with Armenia. The long-term results of this twinning project are not yet visible as work is in progress. The aim is not only capacity building of the CSO, but also to create long-lasting partnerships between the public administrations of our countries. Let me conclude by thanking our EU member state partners in this project, namely the Estonian Ministry of Finance and the ENA, École Nationale d'Administration of France. Thank you for your great input and effort. Your contribution has been and will be valuable to the project. I also wish to thank the EUD for its support along the project implementation. Lastly, but not least, I would like to thank the CSO for its active participation and multiple feedback. The best way for cooperation is by doing it together. I would like to emphasize that we are implementing this project to enhance good governance in Armenia and to improve the civil service system for the benefit of Armenian citizens. I myself will do my best to bring this project successfully to the end. I trust on all parties involved and wish for a smooth continuation of the project. Thank you.
Շնորհակալություն Տիկին Լեմպինը։ Այժմ ողջունի խոսքով հանդես կա Ֆրանսիայի ENA կառավարման ազգային դպրոցի նախագծերի եւ գործընկերությունների վարչության պետ Ֆրեդերիկ Ռոզերը։ Խնդրեմ, պարոն Ռոզեր։
Thank you very much. Mr. Deputy Prime Minister, Your Excellencies, distinguished member of the Armenian Civil Service Office, distinguished members of the delegation of European Union, ladies and gentlemen, I am delighted to be here with you today in person for this midterm conference on the twinning project of the civil service reform in Armenia. Today gives us the opportunity to review and discuss all the work done since the launch of the project in January 2020. As you know, it's the first event of this kind that can be organized to give some visibility to the project partners, and especially the colleagues from the Civil Service Office for their commitment, pugnacity in reaching the goals of the project. The latter reflects the overall orientation of the Armenian government towards good governance and public administration reform. In many countries, public administration face continuous reforms which must enable it to more open, more agile, more efficient in a context of limited resources. These reforms should also enable it to accompany changes in society which give rise to new challenges and new expectations on the part of civil service users. In this regard, digitalization rise to is undoubtedly a major issue for now and the future. In France, the new law on the transformation of the civil service adopted in August 2019 is now a major reform. This reform includes the transformation of the ENA into the Higher National Institute of Public Service from January 1st, 2022. It will be INSP. So the INSP will remain committed to this project, to the implementation of the component 3 that deals with the reform appraisal system, which is actually also a component of the new law on the transformation of the civil service in France. I believe that since the beginning of the project, thanks to the twinning approach, it has been a self-enrichment on both sides and a mutual learning process on our administration culture and practices. I wish that the project results can meet the level of expectation, and I am glad that the activities can be carried out in such a good momentum despite the contingencies that the project has faced since its beginning. I thank you for your attention and leave the floor to the colleagues who are the most to be praised for the progress made so far. Շնորհակալ ուսիուն.
Շնորհակալություն պարոն Ռոզան. Այժմ ողջունի խոսքով հանդես կա Էստոնիայի ֆինանսների նախարարությունից ծրագրի կրտսեր ղեկավար Տիկին Ռին Կոբինը. Խնդրեմ, Տիկին Կոբին.
Thank you very much. Mr. Deputy Prime Minister, Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. It's a great honor for me to represent Estonian Ministry of Finance on this event that marks the intermediate stage of our twinning project and reports the results achieved so far. We have come a long way, while more than half of the project is completed, and while we have faced several challenges. Also, the project has been influenced by the global corona pandemic, restricting the on-site missions. While the situation was far from perfect for all parties, it was something that both the experts and the civil service office in Armenia had to adjust and cope with. And everyone involved in the project did, as well as it was possible at the time. I'm very glad Estonian Ambassador Mrs. Riina Kaljurand also touched upon our role in the project. I cannot agree more that dedicated and professional people working for the civil service are one of the most important assets for any country. So there is a great share of responsibility involved with the advice giving. I think one of the central questions that all countries are heavily involved with is the ability to anticipate and adapt to the future needs. What steps we could and should take as central administrators in an environment that will be more and more digital, more flexible at the same time, and also continuously full of surprises, and no doubt further crises. How to determine and to attract the needed competencies in the civil service, and how to implement these skills in a most useful way. Given these deep and thorough issues, our colleagues in Armenia have done a great job fulfilling their daily responsibilities as well as taking forward their civil service reforms. No doubt it has been a great dare. I hope the open dialogue and professional discussions will also bring further insights. I would also like to take this occasion to thank our consortium, our partners in House and in ENA, who have been by our side during this process full of adaptations and development. I'm sure that besides our colleagues in Armenia, also the experts have learned a lot on this journey. Last, but certainly not the least, a sincere gratitude belongs to our resident training advisor, Krista Haak, who has devoted a lot of effort in ensuring a good communication and workflows. Dear friends, the adventure continues. Thank you for your attention.
Շնորհակալություն Տիկին Կոբին, հարգելի մասնակիցներ, հարգելի պարոն փոխվարչապետ, Հարգելի տիկին դեսպան, հարգարժան դեսպաններ, թույլ տվեք այսքանով եզրափակել բացման հատվածը։ Այժմ ընդմիջում ենք հայտարարում մինչև ժամը 11:05 րոպե, 11:05 րոպե կվերադառնանք եւ կանդրադառնանք արդեն բուն աշխատանքային ընթացքին եւ բաղադրիչներին։ Շնորհակալություն։